Greetings, comrades. I guess this is going to be an introductory video. Nothing too special, no fancy editing. I just have Windows Movie Maker, so these will be pretty plain and straightforward. I am making this video because I have recently discovered that there are videos on YouTube. Why I never looked for this before, I have no idea. But there are a lot of videos out there about books, book reviews and recommendations and things like that. Now, one of the things I've noticed is that almost all of them are made by young women. And a lot of them are YA oriented, which I do read. But the ones that I've found that I like best are probably more well-rounded. And I'll put some links to my favorites down in the bottom. I think I can figure out how to do that. I don't know why there are no... Well, there are a few men. One of the links of the favorite ones that I have is a guy. One. But I don't know why there aren't more guys. I don't know why... Well, I can't say I don't know why there aren't people my age, because it's obviously not that people my age don't read. I think the problem is a technology issue more than it is a book issue. So maybe some people out there will see this, notice the gray hair, and take the dive and start making some videos of their own. And if you know of any out there of people who might be of my generation or at least over 30, let me know. Put something down in the comments. I'd love to hear it. As for what these videos will be, there'll be some recommendations. Not really a lot of critical analysis. I'm not an English major. I am an avid reader. I am a book lover. So I do have a lot of books. I don't read a whole lot on Kindle, at least not as far as books go. I do read a lot of samples. This is a great thing, I have to admit. I cannot honestly say that it has saved me any money to be able to read a sample of a book and know whether or not I want to get it, but it has allowed me to not spend money on books that I get and then realize I'm not going to like and don't want to read. So in that instance, it's great. And it also kind of helps if I've got it on my sample in there to know if I want to get it, it's there, and I can just go to the bookstore and order it. So all the information's right there. And I have that, also books that I have, I can download. And on my phone, which I have, my wonderful phone is a Galaxy Note 3. And I have there's lots of ways where you can take snapshots, you can draw around the screen and it'll capture what's within your drawing. You can put it into a little notebook thing there, and I have a whole one that's just for books. You can write notes, hand notes on it, or you can add notes to that, or just use the picture or the screen capture or whatever. You can put it into a scrapbook, you can put it into the notebooks. So it's really helped me as far as book buying goes to be able to, I can check it off when I get it and write down when I've ordered it and where I've ordered it from. Speaking of which, one of the things I've noticed recently is that I used to get a lot of books from Amazon, but this whole thing with Hatchet has really ticked me off. And Amazon's being jerks about it. So I really cut back on book buying from Amazon. Once in a while I buy a used book, but not so much anymore. And I've been going to a more local new bookstore. It's a very small chain of bookstores in Northern California, around Sonoma County. There's like maybe 6 bookstores. It's called Copperfield's. And I've always liked it. I've always shopped there. I have a friend who works there part-time, and what I noticed recently is I went and I bought a bunch of books there, and I'll do a book haul later on. It's going to be for September, although it's going to kind of be late, obviously, because I'm just now starting this. Maybe I'll get to it today and get it uploaded also. But I went there and I bought a bunch of books, and I have one of their little book card things, so I get a 10% discount. And what I noticed is that most of these books I would have gotten like maybe a 20% discount at Amazon. And dude, for 10%, I mean, okay, so that's like the tax. At least where I live, it's kind of like the tax, sales tax on it. It's not, I just as soon go there. I like wandering around looking at the shelves. The people who work there are pretty knowledgeable. They're very, very kind and helpful, and they don't mind standing there while I list off my books that I want to order and things like that, or making them look things up because I can't quite figure out sometimes where things are located. Is it going to be in the science fiction section? Is it going to be in the YA section? Or is it going to be in the middle grade section? Some books it's kind of hard to tell. Or just, regular fiction section, which some of the ones that one book is in the regular fiction that I thought would be in at least one of those other ones, but no. So sometimes it's just easier to ask and have them look it up on their system and find out where it is. So what I've noticed is that I'm not, it's not costing me much more to go to that bookstore than it is to go on Amazon. It's like nothing, so it's worth it. So, if you've been kind of lured in by Amazon, consider checking out a local independent bookstore. It's, you might be surprised, especially if they have any kind of reward program, because, Amazon, unless you're just buying brand new fiction, hardback, where they give you that 40% discount, most of the other stuff isn't discounted 40%. It's not really discounted all that much. So, it's usually maybe 20%. And if you've got a rewards program at a local store, for 10%, come on. If you can't afford the 10% difference, then you shouldn't be out there buying all those books anyway. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, I had my friend who actually works at that bookstore used to own a bookstore in another nearby town where I live. But they don't have that anymore, and that's where I always bought all my books. And unless it was some like weird used thing, I could only find it as a used book, so I get that online. And I still do sometimes through, ABE books, or if you go on to adall.com and they do a book search that includes a lot of different stuff. I used to get a lot of book from Powell's. So I'm not doing too much with Amazon anymore. And if they don't get this thing cleared up with Hatchet, I've realized that I don't really need Amazon all that much. I'll probably just eliminate my Prime, Amazon Prime also. There's very few things that I need right away. Or that, there are very few times when I don't buy at least $25 worth of stuff to get the discount on the shipping. So that's kind of my story of currently book buying and reading. As far as reading goes, I read all kinds of different stuff. And this is probably already getting too long, 8 minutes. Okay, I read all kinds of different stuff, so it might be kind of eclectic. Right now, the genre I'm kind of into, or just beginning to get into belatedly, is steampunk, which I like. I'm starting to read a little bit of that. And I think that's about it. That's all I wanted to say in the intro, which has already gone on for too long and too wordy. And yeah, that's kind of the way I am. Sorry, a bit of a blabbermouth. But mostly I buy books because I love books. I have a paper thing. I love paper. And I love having a book. There are very few that I have on Kindle, so most reviews and stuff, I will hold up the book. Some I might do where I don't have the book because a lot of my books are packed away. I just don't have room for them. I don't have bookshelves for them. I'm trying to get everything cataloged now. I just uploaded Readerware again on my laptop, and I used to have it a long time ago on a desktop. But now that I have a phone that has a barcode reader that I can take to the shelves and I don't have to haul the books to the computer, hopefully I'll do a lot better job this time of getting everything cataloged. I may be moving in a couple of years, so there are also things that I'm just going ahead and packing up now, just in case, and if not, they need to be packed up anyway because I just don't have room on bookshelves for them anymore. So, anyway, that's my introduction. I will try to put some links to some of my favorite people down that I've discovered down because their reading interests are a little more varied, and I like that because I read all different kinds of stuff too. I didn't read much as a kid. I didn't start reading until I was about 15. I mean, I grew up in Southeast Texas, so of course I read those Walter Farley Black Stallion books. which was great, and I loved them. But when I was 15, a friend of mine, her older sister, was an English major, and she gave me two books to read. One was The Prophet, and the other, whoops, okay, I'm not sure if this is still recording because my screen just went blank. One is The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran, and the other was 9 Short Stories by J.D. Salinger. And I have had my nose in a book ever since. I mean, I don't know why she picked those two books. I didn't think to ask at the time why those two books, but both of them blew me away. So I've been reading, and I've been basically book poor ever since. So anyway, I hope that I can find a few followers out there that can maybe, give me more recommendations to other people on BookTube who do book reviews and recommendations and stuff. And if you know of anyone who's in my generation out there who does this, let me know and let them know about mine. I'll try to get my books that I got in September uploaded pretty quickly. Thanks for your time. Bye.